What is going on, Chaotix? It is your boy Chaos here, and today, it's about time I do this video. Today we're going to be going over a ranking of each of these starters from each of the generations. So, a lot of Pokemon YouTubers have done this in the past. There's been videos like A-Drive, MJTV, Game Boy Luke. I believe Hoodlum Callum was one of the first ones, though. I think Birdkeeper Toby might have also done it. But it's one of those tag videos that's going around, and I got to jump on the bandwagon and get into this. So, I have not been tagged, actually. So, fun fact, I must mention that at the beginning. I have not been tagged, but, as a smaller YouTuber, smaller person who covers Pokemon, I doubt that I'm going to be tabbed. So, that's just how it goes. So, as you can see on the screen, we're going to go over each generation of Pokemon, Gen 1 to Gen 8. And we're going to go over the starter Pokemon. Now, for the first 7 generations, I'm actually going to talk about all the starters, including their full evolutions. Gen 8, we can't do that yet because we don't have the evolutions yet. So I just have to go with the starter Pokemon. And I'll let you know why I chose which one and what team I'm on right now. So there's rankings first, second, and third based on the starters. We're going to start in Generation 1. And you guys should have no problem guessing what the starter order for this is. Because, my mascot's kind of one of these Pokemon. So Gen 1, we got Charmander hitting that first place, Squirtle in second, and Bulbasaur in third. Now, Bulbasaur hits third here. I don't think it's a bad starter. I think it's really a good starter. It's honestly one of the better Pokemon in the Kanto region. But, that being said, I just don't think Venusaur gives us anything really to go off of. Ivysaur looks cool. I think Ivysaur's the best of the three, in my opinion. Bulbasaur's alright. Ivysaur's pretty cool, and Venusaur's just kind of there. It's not really, doesn't give me anything that makes me think, oh, this is really cool, I want this as my Pokemon. So, it's kind of there. And that, I know, Bulbasaur's okay. It's not the best, but it's there. Squirtle, it's pretty cool. I really like the cuteness of Squirtle. I think it's really adorable. I really like the turtles myself, so I think that's why I choose Squirtle a little bit over Bulbasaur. I don't really care for Wartortle. I think it's okay. It's not the best. And then Blastoise is awesome with the canyons on it. I really think it's a really cool design. I can't really see what they would have gone differently with Blastoise. And I think they made a really solid Pokemon in Squirtle and Blastoise. Wartortle could have been changed a little bit, but it's kind of just there for now. Then, of course, you have my number 1 pick, which is Charmander. And I love this evolutionary line. It is the best Gen 1 starter, best starter total. Because, Charmander just happens to be my favorite Pokemon. Charmander, Charmeleon, and Charizard. Now, Charizard's my favorite, honestly. I really love Charizard. I think it looks really cool. It's a great design for a Pokemon. I think they did a really solid job knocking it out of the park. So, I'm going to go with Charmander here. I think Charmander looks adorable and cute. I really like it in all its anime appearances, especially in the Origins specials they had on YouTube. I thought it would look really good in that as well. Charmeleon's kind of cool, but it's also kind of weird. I don't think the secondary evolutions for the first 2 are that great, but I think it's okay. It makes a nice transition. I wish it would have just changed its feature, not the color, more or less, but it's still a pretty good design. Moving along, we got Generation 2, and I'm gonna go with this set. I'm gonna put Chikorita in third place. Chikorita is just the worst starter in this generation by far. I don't have an attachment to it. I don't have any liking for it. I think it's a cool Pokemon. I like Ash's Bayleaf and Chikorita that he has in the anime. But beyond that, I don't really care for Chikorita that much. It does really bad in Johto, and I think that really makes me look at a starter that way. I tried to do a Nuzlocke with Chikorita, and of course it died really quickly. I don't think it's a bad design. I think it looks really cool. But I just don't think it has any merit. It doesn't hold any value to me. Being a starter Pokemon that can't really do well in its own region, it's outclassed by other grass types in the region, I think. Yeah. No. Cyndaquil gets that second spot. It's just edged out by Totodile. I think Cyndaquil is a cool Pokemon. I really like how it looks. I like Quilava a lot. I really like Typhlosion as well. Although a lot of people do pick on its new sprites, like in the Gen 7 and Gen 8 sprites. I don't think they look that bad. They're just kind of there for me. But I really got to give it to Totodile. I really like Crocodiles. I think they made Totodile absolutely adorable. I can't just not look at Totodile and be like, I want one. It's like, look, it's like holding its hands. That's like, pick me. So I really could not pass up a Totodile. It's also the best starter in the games, in my opinion. So I really like Totodile. I think it's a really good design, a really good crocodile Pokemon. And then for Alligator, like, how can you not like the booty game, man? How can you not like booty game? Crocodile's okay. It's kind of like a, looks like it's kind of wearing a diaper a little bit, but it also kind of reminds me of being an egg. So I think that's more what they were going for with it. But I think they're all really good Pokemon. I really prefer Totodile, though. Out of that line, I think it's just so cute and adorable. But you know, for Alligator's got the power, so you gotta evolve it. Generation 3, here we come. Now this is probably the hardest generation of starters for me to pick. I really like all of them, so that's what I went with here. Torchic is pretty cool. I really do like Blaziken. I like the speed boost ability. I love Combuskin. I used Combuskin quite a bit, and I remember playing through the games quite a lot with a Combuskin on my team. So, but I just don't think Torchic holds the merit of the other two. Trico is really cool. I really like Trico. I think it's like a really serious looking Pokemon, especially Ash's in the anime when it's a Trico. I really do like Grovyle. I think it's one of the best, if not the best, middle stage evolution of any Pokemon out there. It's really solid. It's a really cool looking Pokemon, and I really like Trico because of that. However, Sceptile is not my favorite Pokemon. It looks like a giant Christmas tree, especially when it's shiny. But, or I mean Mega. But I really don't see the appeal in Sceptile. I think it's a cool Pokemon. I've used one before, but it's not my favorite. Then we get to Mudkip. Now Mudkip is just absolutely freaking adorable. I cannot look past this thing, and like I see it and I'm like, yeah, that's my starter. That's what I thought. It was my favorite Pokemon at one point in time, especially when I started playing through the Hoenn games. And I didn't realize you could still have Charizard and Charmander. So Mudkip became my favorite Pokemon for a little bit of time, while I did not know about the Charmander and stuff being Gen 3. But I think it's just really cool. Mudkip just does enough for this whole evolutionary line for make me like it. Marshtomp is kind of derpy, and I really kind of like the derpiness of Marshtomp, but Swampert just kind of looks really weird to me. I prefer the regular form of the Mega. The Mega just looks stupid, in my opinion. But I do like this Pokemon quite a bit. I like the water ground typing for it. I think it works really well. It makes it the best starter in the region. And you know, most of the Pokemon that I'm putting in the top spot are going to be probably the best for their region. So that's why I'm choosing them, because I've used them later on in the life of playing Pokemon. Gen 2 I really hadn't visited until Heart Gold Soul Silver. And then doing that, I barely played through the game. I really started my Gen 2 journeys back like last summer when Gold Crystal and Silver came out on Virtual Console. That's when I really started playing Johto. So it's hard for me to make a nostalgia bias here, but I really do like Mudkip. That's my nostalgia for Gen 3. I just really like this Pokemon. I think it has the best shiny of the 3 starters too, so that's something else that works in Mudkip's favor. Next up is Generation 4, another good series for starters, in my opinion. It was really hard for me to pick, but this is how I set it up. So Turtwig, I really like Turtwig. It was my first starter in Generation 4. I gotta put that out there. But after that, I really haven't used it. And the reason I like Turtwig so much is because Ash had one and Paul had one. They both had a Torterra. So I really wanted to be like Ash and Paul in the anime and get one. But I realized I didn't really care for it too much. It was a cool Pokemon, like 4 times weak to ice, which I mean, you really didn't see. But, you know, it was more a defensive Pokemon, and that's not really my style. When I was a kid, it was not my style to just defend. So in that case, Piplup did a little bit better. I like the steel typing on it. I really like penguins too. So Empoleon looking like a Poseidon and a penguin combination really was nice for me, and I really did enjoy that Pokemon. I thought it was really solid when I first saw it. But I have to give the edge to Infernape and Chimchar line. Chimchar's really quite adorable, and I really like Chimchar. I really like Ash's Chimchar in the anime. Monferno is pretty cool as well. Very, very good Pokemon. A pretty good, solid middle stage evolution. Probably the best of this line. And then Infernape is just a powerhouse and a beast. Very physical, very offensive. Very cool Pokemon, and I really like it. And I really like Ash's in the anime, and that's probably why I ended up using it a lot. But I really just think Infernape has great potential here. Probably the best of these 4 starters. And I'm just going to give it to Chimchar and Chimchar line this time. Moving on, Generation 5. Now this is really easy for me. You guys should know my absolute disdain for Emboar. I really have hated Emboar since it came out. Tepig's okay. Pignite is not good at all, and Emboar is just trash. I don't even understand why it's a fire fighting type. I really think it could have just been a fire type. but they tried to make it cool with a fighting type on it, and that didn't help it out much. So I just think the design is bad. I think they could have done so much better with a boar Pokemon. Like maybe give it Tusk or something and make it, you know, they could have made it so much better. You know, it didn't have to be bipedal. It could be a quadruped and it would work so much better. Snivy is a really cool Pokemon. I really think it's awesome. I liked it. It was my first starter in this generation, not gonna lie. Of course, in Generation 3, Generation 4, and Generation 5, that was when I was a Grass-type Pokemon trainer. I really like Grass-type, so I chose the Grass-type first. But that did not reflect on what starter I ended up keeping, and what starter ended up being my favorite for the entire playthrough. So, I mean, Snivy's really cool. I think Servine was probably the best of the line, in my opinion. And Superior, I just don't understand why it lost all of its arms and legs and such. I mean, I think it's okay. It's just kind of a basic snake. It's not a great design, but it's kind of fine. So, I think they could have done better with Superior, but it is there. And then you have Oshawott taking the top spot here. I think Oshawott's really solid. I like Oshawott. I think it's cute. It does kind of remind me of a clown a little bit. So, that was something that kind of turned me off when I first looked at it. Dewott is absolutely great. Probably the best in this line of starters in middle evolutions and final evolutions. And Samurott is okay. I think it's fine. I really didn't care for it when it first evolved, but I really grew to love my Sammy, which is what I named mine. And I think they could have made it a biped and it would have been fine. But I think the biggest problem with the starters here are them changing whether they're quadruped or biped, or, you know, making them have no legs or things. Just make them a Pokemon. I think like Samurott standing up would have been absolutely phenomenal and a really great Pokemon. I love what they did with the shell, that Oshawott uses it to attack, but you know, it's kind of weird when it's on Samurott. So it's there. It's a cool Pokemon and I really like it. Again, Gen 5 is not the best starters out there, probably my least favorite set. I don't know, Gen 8 kind of not been great for me either, but we'll talk about that later. Next up is Gen 6, and this one's easy, really easy. Fennekin obviously hits the bottom here. I don't really care for its evolutions. Fennekin is absolutely adorable. Made me choose it the first time I played through the game. But its evolutions just make me not like this Pokemon. Like, they had to ruin this Pokemon. It was such a great design. Like, I was expecting, okay, this is going to look something like Ninetales, except only cooler. And then they, like, completely destroyed it. So, Fennekin, I'm sorry, but I don't like your evolutions. If I could just keep Fennekins, I'd be fine. But, you know, they kind of suck once they evolve and such. It's not great. Next up is Chespin, and now I actually found some refound love for Chespin. I think it was really cute. I really like the Chespin. I hate Quilladin. It looks stupid and derpy. I know some people like it, but you know, I just think it's stupid and derpy. And I same with Chestnut. It just looks like a really old man with a shell on its back. And I don't really care for that. But I did really start to like Chestnut when I started using it in my first Draft League. So once I started using it in Draft League, I really liked the Pokemon. I thought it gave more defensive capabilities. I really like how it was played and how I could use it. So that made me appreciate the Chespin line just a little bit more. And probably gives me just a little bit of edge over Fennekin. And then the obvious Gen 6 starter is obvious Gen 6 starter. Of course, it's Froakie, because the evolutionary line is just outclasses the other two by a long shot. I think this is completely unfair when it comes to the starters here, because Froakie just looks so awesome. And then the other two just kind of look stupid. So everyone always picks Froakie. I pick Froakie. If I play through the game again, I'm always going to pick Froakie. I think the Water Dark type is a really cool type. Protean, awesome ability. You know, this thing, a frog Pokemon, you just really can't go wrong with frog Pokemon, in my opinion. I don't think they have yet. You know, Seismitoad is something in Gen 5, but I think it was still pretty cool Pokemon. I really like Seismitoad. So, I don't think they've gone wrong with a frog Pokemon yet. So, make more frog Pokemon, Game Freak. Make more frog Pokemon. Gen 7, very easy again for me to pick through. Popplio is okay. I mean, it was my least favorite starter when I saw the two. I was definitely Team Rowlet and Team Litten right off the bat. Primarina just ruined it for me. Yeah, I was done. I was done as soon as it evolved. It turned into a girl and I just, no. I didn't care for it. It might be I don't care if it's the best starter in Sun and Moon. I don't care. I don't like this thing. I think they're trying, like, the starters in my opinion have been kind of geared either way. It could be male, it could be female. But I think really in Gen 7, they shot, even a little bit in Gen 6, Fennekin was kind of turning more like a female Pokemon. And then Gen 7, they're like, yeah, Popplio is just straight up female, even though it's going to be a male. Like, I just didn't like that. I want these Pokemon, I think, can be balanced either way most of the time, and you know, male or female, even though they're like 75% male, I believe. But Popplio and Primarina, yeah, I just can't understand why a male Primarina looks like that. I just don't like it. I just don't think the design's great, and I don't think it's really appealing for some of the audience there. However, Litten is a very good design. I think it's, honestly, out of the starter trio at the beginning, I like Litten the best. I almost picked Litten too. Litten was my first choice. I did really like Rowlet. I thought Rowlet was a cute little boy too. But what really killed Litten line for me was Incineroar. I hate Incineroar's design. I think it looks stupid. It would have been so much better if it was on the ground. Like, literally, instead of making it look like Tony the Tiger, just put it on the ground, make it a quadruped. And I don't understand, like, the dark typing. This is one time where I would say, yeah, firefighting type works, and you should do it. I understand it's supposed to be evil because he's a heel, but, you know, the Dex entries don't agree with that. I think if fighting type would have been something that they could have reasoned with a little bit better. And I think if they made him a quadruped, it would have been easy to make Incineroar just a fire type. Or maybe make it a fire dark type at that point, because it looks like a dark type Pokemon at that point. But I think just making Incineroar biped really ruined it for me. Now, I have used Incineroar in 2 seasons of Draft League, and I do like using it there. I think it's a cool Pokemon. It's made me appreciate it a little bit more, but not enough to make me like it over Rowlet. So I think Rowlet's really cool. I really like Rowlet. I really like the Decidueye, and, you know, the middle evolution we don't talk about. We don't talk about Dartrix. But I saw the Decidueye, and I'm like, yes, that is a starter Pokemon. That is my choice. And honestly, you can look back through the generations. It's the only grass type starter I put at the top. So most of them sit at the bottom of the list. So, you know, making really solid grass type is really good for this game. I really like Rowlet. I played through first with Decidueye. I think Decidueye is a really cool Pokemon. I like its typing, Grass Ghost. Some of my favorite grass types and ghost types fit in that category of grass ghost type Pokemon. Like, I'm thinking Phantup. So I think it's a really cool Pokemon. I kind of wish it was still grass flying. I think that was a really cool typing for a starter. But, you know, I could see Grass Ghost coming along. And, you know, it was a really cool Pokemon. I really enjoyed using my Decidueye in my playthrough. And I just think it looks the best out of the 3. And finally, we come to Generation 8. Now, of course, this one we can't talk about the full evolved Pokemon. We can't talk about the middle stages either, because we don't have those yet. So it's basically just me going off of what the basic forms look like. And I guess here we go. So don't hate me too much in the comments if your favorite is at the bottom. But if you like Score Bunny, I don't. So that's the thing. Score Bunny, in my opinion, I think it's a good Pokemon. I think it's what I would expect from a Fire Rabbit Pokemon. But I just know they're going to ruin it. I know they're going to ruin Score Bunny, so I know they're going to really ruin it. I don't like the bandages on its face. I think it looks kind of weird. It's trying to make it look like a firefighting type, and everyone's like, it's a firefighting type again. But, you know, I don't think it's going to be that. I can see Fire Fairy, but as I've said in the other video, go check that out. But I'm just not a fan. I don't know why. I just like the other 2 more. I think it's okay, but I think I like the other 2 more. For Grookey, every time I see Grookey, I like it a little bit more, and honestly, it might pass up Sobble at some point. But Grookey just is a really solid design. It really looks great. It's a good grass type monkey. It looks what a grass type monkey should look like. I like the stick in its head. I like maybe it being musically inclined or something like that as their separation for the theme of the starters in Gen 8. I just think it looks really cool. I think they might ruin this one as well, and I just have no faith in Game Freak. I know they're going to ruin everything I love. So, I'm trying to keep my opinions out of the Gen 8 starters as much as I can, because I know it's what's going to come down to is how they look when they evolve. So, I think Grookey's a great basic form, probably the best of the 3, honestly, but I know they're going to ruin it. I just know they're going to ruin it. And Sobble takes number 1. Now, I think Sobble's a really cool Pokemon. I think this thing has a lot of potential, and I think out of the 3 starters, it has the least chance of being ruined. That being said, it probably still is going to be ruined. I definitely could see it turning into like a Komodo Dragon type thing, maybe being a Water Dragon type, a Water Poison type. And you know, I really like the water poison type. I've used a tentacle quite a bit in some of my playthroughs, so I really like that typing, and I think it would be really cool for Sobble. I also really like its chameleon type nature, where it can hide in the water. I don't really care for like the crying water thing, but you know, I just think it's adorable, it's cute. The first opinion when I saw this thing, I really wanted it. So who knows, maybe my opinions change by the time the final evolutions come out. I might end up picking Grookey, but they're really close. Sobble and Grookey are really close, really edging each other in and out of where they fit on this list. Scorbunny just, yeah, it's there. It's just kind of there. But yeah, I guess that's my opinions on all the starter Pokemon. That's my list here. My top 3, geez, if I have to pick my top 3, Charmander definitely number 1. Number 2 is Mudkip. You know, number 3 is a really close one. I'm kind of tempted to pick Trico or Chimchar, but I'll probably say Chimchar, so that'll be my 3. Charmander, Mudkip, and Chimchar. Those are going to be the 3 of my favorites. But that's where I'm going to wrap up the video today. But of course, before I leave, I get to tag people. I was not tagged to do this video, but this is a tag video, so I am going to tag people. So, you know I'm tagging Tui. I'm going to tag Tui. Tui, you're going to have to do this video, my friend. I can help you out with it if you want. But I know his opinions are slightly different than mine, especially in Generation 4. But I want him to do this video. So Tui, you're going to do this video. I'm also going to tag someone way back in the first season of the PDL, and that's going to be BriefStar Wego. I'm going to tag him. I think he's really cool for doing this. I want to see his opinions too. I think he has some really cool perspectives to give. So I'm going to tag him in this as well. And I think I want to do a third one. And for the third one, I've got to tag Damien. I've got to tag Damien to do this video too. So I think Damien has a really interesting perspective on Pokemon. I think being someone who's played more of the TCG style games, I think his dynamic is going to be a little different from everyone else's. So, you know, I think Damien might do a cool video on this. So I'm going to tag those 3 people again: Tui, BriefStar Wego, and Damien Dragon. You guys have to do this video, so I hope to see that in a couple weeks or so. I'm going to let them know really soon that they have to do this video because I tagged them in it. But that's where I'm going to wrap it up, folks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying my video of my rankings of the Pokemon that we have chosen as our starter Pokemon. So, all the way through Gen 8, man. Looking at this list, I can see the trend of me liking water types for some reason as the favorite. I think that's probably because they are the best in their respective games. If you look at my list of the best starter in each game, most of the time it's the water type starter because they just do so much in the game. So most of the time the water type is the best, and that's probably why they're on the top. But I really am a fire type person at heart. I just think they've messed up since Generation 5. Something about the starters that made me not like them. So get back to your basics, Game Freak. Make better fire starters, and I will start being a fire type starter chooser every single time. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy. Of course, if you want to do this as yourself, feel free to do it. Let me know what your favorite starter Pokemon is in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you guys. You guys have been doing great on the My Gym videos, coming up with really cool gyms. So keep that up on every video that I post. I'd love to hear your opinions here. And if your opinion's different from mine, so what? So be it. I expect Gen 1 to be a little bit different for some people, especially those who hate Charizard. So just let me know what your favorites are. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you guys in the next video for another Pokemon content. So, till then, my name is Chaos, and I'm signing out. Stay safe, and as always, folks,